So 252 carry, 277 total. But then probably my favourite comment in a fitting or a lesson is, but when I get a proper golf ball in there, I'm going to be hitting it so much further, aren't I? So today's video, I'm going to test, does a range ball perform any differently to a proper golf ball? Right, so it's a comment I get loads and loads, whether it be in fittings or in lessons, as to, well, the golf ball on the driving range doesn't really go as far as a proper golf ball, but the challenge for a lot of golfers is they're doing all of their practice with a range ball. So in today's video, I'm going to test the range ball that's down where I'm based at Herons Reach in Blackpool. Just how does it perform compared to my Pro V1 X that I would normally play? I'm going to hit some full gap wedges, some full 7-irons, and then some drivers like I did there. Maybe show you a bit more information than just distance. And then if it doesn't perform, or it does perform, I'm going to chop it open at the end and just see what my range ball actually looks like. But before I get into the video, guys, if you're new down to my channel, welcome down to Ali Taylor Golf. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. If you're enjoying today's content while you're watching and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Ring the notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. While we're on it, pop over to my Facebook page, Ali Taylor Golf. Comment on there, like the page, putting some short videos on there, particularly coaching stuff. Let me know over on Facebook what you'd like to see. But for now, let's see, does a range ball perform any differently to a proper golf ball? Right, so I'm going to open up with some wedge shots. My 52-degree wedge. I'm going to hit a few with the range ball and then a few with my Titleist Pro V1 X. Same with 7-iron, same with driver. Now, what I would comment on just before I hit the shots is maybe not all range balls are equal. So I think if you're not sure when you go down to your local driving range, just ask what the range ball is. Is it a one-piece ball? Is it a two-piece ball? Is it a limited distance ball? At least if you know to begin with, your own expectation level's a little bit different, and then as long as the ball's consistent, you should be able to work out relative to your own golf ball. But let's start off, range ball, 52 degrees, off we go. And we can see round about that 100 yards. And for me, very noticeable, and this is a personal thing. You know, I'm sure you guys will see different things when you're on the range, but it definitely feels with the range ball like it slides up the club face a lot. So maybe that would be a little bit shorter than I would expect normally with my gap wedge. So let's move across onto the Titleist Pro V1 X and see what that was. So just under 100 for the range ball. Right, so certainly for me there, as we ran through those shots, ran about 100 for the range ball, but kind of over 110, ran about that 112 for my 52. Now that's the number I would expect, around 112 with that. And I thought hitting into the impact screen was very, very noticeable how much lower on the face, on the screen, that the Pro V1 X was hitting. With the range ball, it was hitting right up at the top of the screen, whereas maybe only 2/3 of the way up. Now that for me would definitely be down to the cover of the ball being softer on the Pro V1 X, therefore gripping a lot more on the face, launching a bit lower. I saw more ball speed, and that's why I saw more distance. So that moves us across onto 7-iron. Right, so 7-iron, range ball. Off we go. Let's see how this performs. So probably just under 155 for the range ball, so probably round about where I would expect. I think club speed, ball speed, there's a couple that the smash factor is a little bit low on, but let's move across onto the Pro V1 X. So kind of round about just under 155 as my average carry. That last one, just a little bit out the toe, but the ball speed was still up there. So as we saw with the wedge, definitely saw more ball speed and more distance with the Pro V. And probably with the wedges and the 7-iron, I'll do the average numbers absolutely at the end of the test. But so far, the real golf ball looks about a club longer. But that moves me onto driver. Right, so I've definitely got the lefty ones going, but kind of clubhead speed round about where I'd expect. Ball speed maybe, that last one at 159, not a million miles off where I'd expect to be, but generally maybe ball speed just down a little on where I would hope. So let's go Pro V1 X. So this is my actual ball that I play. Right, so I think we can admit the accuracy was equally bad with range ball and actual ball. But again, a little bit like with the irons, I think I saw more ball speed and therefore a little bit more distance with driver. But let's look at the average of the shots side by side and see how different is the range ball compared to a real ball. So we saw a range ball carry 100, 99.9, ball speed 88. Compare that to 111 carry with 91.6 ball speed. So definitely saw a good club length difference in the wedge. So we saw carry with the 7-iron at 154, ball speed just under 112. So with the Pro V1 X 7-iron, we saw 163.5 and a big jump in ball speed to 118.4. So range ball, less we say about direction there, the better, but carry 244, club speed 108, ball speed 157. So actually not as bad as I thought while I was hitting the shots. And when you compare that with the Pro V1 X, carry 249, club speed 107 and ball speed 159. So did I see a massive difference between range ball and actual ball? In wedges and irons, probably about a club length. With driver, not absolutely massive. Now, I agree they weren't my best directional shots by any means, but my club head speed and ball speed were round about where I would expect. Certainly with wedge and 7-iron, I felt my ball speed was back a little bit, and for me that might be the ball just sliding up the club face, not quite having as much friction, and therefore kind of not really compressing on the club face. But let's just chop the range ball open, because the range ball where I work at Herons Reach is supposed to be a two-piece ball. So let's chop it open and see if the range ball is what it should be. Right, so golf ball chopped open, and I don't really can see the inside of that. So it's definitely two-piece. Now, interestingly, I actually did cut open one of these range balls when they first came in, and I'll be honest, the inside was a very different colour, and I think it was a slightly different texture. So it is two-piece, but the material inside maybe varies a little bit ball to ball. So that's why you might see different kind of numbers even with range balls. So even the range balls that look the same might not be the same. So ultimately, I think as long as range balls are fairly consistent, as long as you know how they perform differently to your actual ball, it's not too bad, because at least you can get some consistent results and then work out what you need to from there. So for my range ball, it's a little bit different to my actual ball, but I wouldn't expect to be hitting Pro V1 X's down the range, you know, with every single shot in practice. Might be a little bit more expensive for 50 balls than it is currently. But all in all, my range ball isn't a million miles off an actual golf ball. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you have enjoyed the video though and you don't currently subscribe, please consider clicking the button below. Remember to ring that notification bell, then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down here soon. Stay in contact.